Confirming the start list then for the women's vault final. Camille Rasmussen will go first. She qualified third overall. Asia D'Amato will go second. She qualified top overall. Watch out as well for Oksana Chusovitana, the legend at 47, who is the series leader. The Pommel horse final. We'll see Li Chikai of Chinese Taipei go first. Ilya Kovtun will go second. A couple of Armenian gymnasts to go as well. Khachikyan and Merdinyan. Philippe Ure still going strong. The man who medalled at the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008. Laurent de Munck will be last to go. The man who qualified 5th overall. Certainly don't read too much into the qualification results in the women's vault. Oksana Chusovitana, for example, qualified only 5th overall. And she tends to perform with conservative vaults, shall we say, in the qualifiers, makes the final and then finds another gear in the final. Rifta Irfana Lutfi of Indonesia. There's Camille Rasmussen, teenager from Copenhagen. He's had her problems with leg form in the air. Feet coming apart. And it will be interesting to see Asia D'Amato and what she can produce in this vault final. Merdinyan looking strong as ever, approaching his 39th birthday. So just a few moments warm up and then to the finals themselves. And we'll alternate between the women's vault and the men's pommel horse. Li Chikai. Olympic silver medalist in the pommel horse.
Start on court, ladies and gentlemen. An athlete from Denmark.
First to go in the women's vault final is Camille Rasmussen, the 18-year-old from Copenhagen in Denmark. Needs to build good speed down the runway. And a good landing as well, a good smile on the face of Rasmussen.
First vault of the Danish athlete in this final.
The gymnasts will complete 2 vaults.
World Cup in Cairo here this year. 18 years old or 18
The average score will be
born in the Danish
the final score.
Copenhagen. And she's a member of the club.
Somebody who took up the sport at the age of 4 and wants to compete at the Olympic Games. Someone who's been training so hard in the build-up to
Earlier this year at the World Cup
the World Championships later this year.
in Doha.
Drifting slightly, but not nearly enough to see her penalised.
Here in Egypt.
And a little hop back on landing, but nicely controlled. 13.383 in qualifying. So 13.866 for Camilla Rasmussen for her first vault. The double twisting Yurchenko. And that's disappointing. She will be disappointed that she couldn't stick the landing quite as she would have liked, but somebody who needs to be celebrated. The first Danish woman to win a World Cup medal when she won that vault silver in Varna last year. Li Chikai of Chinese Taipei will be first to go in the Pommel horse final. The Olympic silver medalist from Tokyo 2020 on the Pommel horse. The first gymnast representing Chinese Taipei to win an Olympic medal. World silver medalist as well in 2019, world bronze medalist on the Pommel horse. He's an expert on this apparatus. Asian Games champion as well in years gone by. Asian Games upcoming in Hangzhou. His flair has absolutely set him apart. Hips are open, his clearance above the horse is really good, and the overall package, wow, just wow. Splendid to watch. Li Chikai is happy, and he'll take the applause as well. Camilla Rasmussen. 12.866 combined score. So after that failed landing down on her qualification, Asia D'Amato top qualifier for the women's vault final. Asia D'Amato, 20-year-old from Italy. Beautifully landed.
Back to vault with the first vault of Asia D'Amato of Italy. The athlete from Genova.
Now she'll be looking to finish top of the women's vault. It's great to see her back as well. In recent times, she injured her ligaments in her right ankle doing her second vault at the 2022 European Championships in Munich. She missed the World Championships as a result. So genuinely delightful to see her back and nailing her vaults recently. One of only two gymnasts to go above 14 for a vault in qualification. 14.1, execution of 9.1 for her first vault.
Here's the second vault of Asia D'Amato.
No, no. Please let it not be. Asia D'Amato, only recently back from injury. A lovely vault. Let's see the score of Li Chikai.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
15.033. That is lovely from Li Chikai. And thankful for his score, he improves by half a mark from qualification. The challenge laid down for Ilya Kovtun. who's just won gold on floor. Ilya Koftun in his second of 5 finals at the Cairo World Cup. Former World Challenge Series winner on Pommel horse. A junior European champion on Pommel horse too. And this is a genuine test of endurance. And one of the athletes who certainly doesn't struggle with endurance. Ilya Koftun. And a fine dismount. Very smooth execution from Ilya Koftun. Just a shake of the wrist. Maybe caught something, but a very fine routine. A man who delivers with competitive passion. But Lee Chikai has laid down a phenomenal marker. Patricia Makovitskova of Czechia, or Czech Republic, next to go.
Championships all-around medalist. Now luckily Asia D'Amato seems pretty much okay. 13.1 is her score. Score of the second vault.
This is Camille Rasmussen.
And now the Czech Republic.
Just looking back at Rasmussen.
Patricia Makovitskova.
Patricia Makovitskova next to go in the women's vault final. A big step back on landing. Just 16 years old, she made the Doha women's vault final as well. A bronze medalist at the Czech Championships on vault. Qualified 7th overall, but importantly into another final.
Going back to her starting position in order to prepare for the second vault. She was born in a town called Zatec, between the Czech capital Prague and Germany, the city of Dresden. Very first time that we see her in Cairo, Patricia Makovitskova.
Just waiting for her mark for the first vault. Asia D'Amato leading the way from Camille Rasmussen.
12.5 for the first vault of Patricia Makovitskova.
Just lost it a little in the air and then the big step back on landing. 12.5 for her first vault. Has a best combined score of 12.950 on vault. She'll need some vault here to improve on that. Just lost her way down the runway. Makovitskova. just 16 years old. And somebody who's consistently making finals now at World Cup events.
Appreciate your support. She will breathe 5 times and go again.
The crowd just trying to get behind the young Czech gymnast. An emotional moment for Makovickova.
Some Czech fireworks on the vaults. And ladies and gentlemen,
But nicely done to complete the vault.
The vault of Italy's Asia D'Amato. Inquiry for Asia D'Amato.
So Ilya Kovtun, 14.566, currently second behind Lee Chikai on the pommel.
First or second vault.
لدينا اعتراض من لاعبة إيطاليا آسيا داماتو.
Kaki Khachikyan. Kaki Khachikyan next to go in the pommel horse final. The Armenian qualified 6th overall with 14.3. Third to go. The 20-year-old from Yerevan. Oh, sensational strength. Upper body strength and core strength. Looking to keep the body straight. Quick hand movement as well. This is just about finding your tempo and defying the laws of physics. But importantly, staying on the apparatus. And a fine dismount, a very sound routine. And he looks pleased with that. Very smooth. Just needing to watch the straightness of the body. No moment of stillness. Rifta Irfana Lutfi of Indonesia next to go in the women's vault final. Beautifully done. A little hop back. The 4-time SEA Games champion. Has looked to land a good first vault. Iftar Fana Lutfi, now 23. She has had her greatest successes on vault and on floor.
A little personal fact of hers, she's a huge fan of K-pop music. Grifta Irfana Lutfi.
Qualified 6th overall, 12.816, 13.066. The score for her first vault. Someone who started her sporting route with swimming and diving, only taking up gymnastics in the first grade. But my word, has she continued to impress. Over the years, the 23-year-old smiles. Multiple SEA Games champion. The SEA Games is just a short way away. Gakik Khachikyan, 14.733. That's a very good score for Khachikyan, the young Armenian. And now the veteran Armenian. Who'll be next to go? Harutyun Mardinyan. Harutyun Mardinyan, the oldest ever World Championship medalist after his bronze in the pommel horse at the 2022 event in Liverpool, where he edged Nariman Kurmanov off the podium. approaching his 39th birthday. This about perpetual motion. Such fantastic technique and a beautifully light touch. There's the sewn element on one arm, and there's such a great sequence of Wendeschwings between the pommels. The one thing you never need to worry about with Mardinian is endurance. He never seems to get tired. He is happy. The crowd is delighted. Well, a pump of the fists. The smile doesn't follow, though. The man who also coaches. But that was a beautifully performed routine. A man who's been involved in gymnastics since 1989. Rifta Irfanalutfi goes second, 12.983. So currently in silver medal position, Asia D'Amato leading, Rifta Irfanalutfi second, Camille Rasmussen of Denmark third after the first four athletes have gone. So as things stand on the pommel horse, Lee Chikai leading with a 15.033. Gakik Khachikyan second with a 14.733. Ilya Koftin 14.566 for the Ukrainian. Haruchun Mardinyan, he knew that his score wouldn't be quite so high, 14.566. He goes tied third with Ilya Koftin. A difficulty of 6 and an execution of 8.566 is exactly the same. They may share the bronze if they stay in those positions. Maria Tronrud of Norway.
And the inquiry of Asia D'Amato, ladies and gentlemen, has been rejected. So the score of Asia D'Amato
is Jocelyn Robertson. A very fine vaulter, very fine all-round gymnast. We saw for just a moment the Panamanian gymnast Hilary Heron. The Pan American silver medalist on vault. So these are just final warm-ups for the athletes before they will produce their routines. Laurent de Monk of Netherlands will be the last to go on the pommel horse. Oksana Chusovitana approaching her 48th birthday. Series leader in the women's vault and looking to wrap up the series title with another medal here after medaling in all three of the previous World Cup events this season. Philip Boudet just inspecting the apparatus. Maria Tronrud of Norway. A warm-up for her. The penultimate athlete to go. It's Philippe Houdet. Beijing Olympic Games in 2008. He was the silver medalist. Croatia's first Olympic medal in artistic gymnastics went his way. Robertson, not using the full 25 meters of the runway, builds up prolific speed.
And that was the final warm-up vault, ladies and gentlemen. Jocelyn Robertson of the United States. And we start the second part of this vault final with an athlete from Panama.
Panama's Hilary Heron next to go in the women's vault final. The 2021 Pan American Games silver medalist on vault. And lands it. She's delighted. A massive smile from the 19-year-old. And a confident stride back to the starting position at the top of the runway.
Most memorable sporting achievement so far was winning 2 silver medals at the South American Junior Championships back in 2018.
Inspired by watching the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008, where Oksana Chusovitina was representing Germany and won a medal. Handspring Rudy, a handspring front layout with 1.5 twists, which is actually named for Chusovitina in the code of points. Big smile. Just waiting for her first vault. 13.766. That is a very fine vault. A decent vault here will send her into the medals with 3 gymnasts to come. Just winding up at the top of the runway and the good speed. And another massive smile. She is delighted. Love to see the emotion. And Hilary Heron of Panama has landed her 2 vaults brilliantly.
Rio de Janeiro 2 years ago on this very apparatus on vault.
Philippe Houdet
Pommel horse for Croatia.
next to go in the men's pommel horse final.
السيدات والسادة شرف بطولة كأس العالم لجمباز الفنية القاهرة 2023 معالي
Qualified 8th overall.
أشرف صبحي
The
وزير
36-year-old from Croatia. 14.233. Now he's struggled a bit in recent years and has sometimes come off the apparatus.
الآن على جهاز حصان
But on a good day, he is well capable of a medal.
من كرواتيا.
And he still does such wonderful work. There it is. And the first athlete to come off the apparatus in this final. He's been doing this sport for nearly 30 years, Philippe Houdet. Beijing 2008 Olympic silver medalist. His primary ambition, though, is to win a gold medal in a major international event. He's got 2 European silvers, he's got a silver at the World Championships, a silver at the Olympic Games. And when it comes together, he is so capable of winning gold. Coming off the apparatus will hurt him in this final. Disappointing that he came off, but still a very fine recovery. And somebody who's so very well respected, because he still does such wonderful work on his speciality apparatus. Hilary Heron goes second, well into the medals, 13.599 for the Panamanian. Oksana Chusovitina. She qualified fifth overall with 13.066, but don't read into that. A veteran of 8 Olympic Games. She'll be aiming to go to number 9 in Paris next year. 17 World Championships and many other competitions beside. Oksana Jusovitina of Uzbekistan, Olympic champion, world champion, Asian Games champion, European champion, so much more as well. At 47, 13.066 in qualification, but she does tend to be conservative in the qualifiers and take it up a notch in the final. She makes it look so routine.
She has won a medal at every World Cup this season so far.
2 bronzes, a silver so far in the women's vault in the World Cup series.
It was even a silver medal. And a fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, Oksana Shusovitina is one of the 3 moms competing here. One of the 3 mothers, together with Marta
Great speed down the runway.
of Poland and Vasiliki Milusi from Greece.
Yes, a little struggle with the landing, but in the air, just so good. She does tend to use the handspring front layout with full twist as her first vault these days in finals.
11.9 for the first vault of Oksana. And here's the second vault.
Oksana Chusovitina, 11.9 for her first vault. Needs a big second vault. And lands it very nicely. Someone who came out of retirement yet again in 2021, saying she couldn't finish without a medal for Uzbekistan. Back to Philipp Ude on Pommel horse, 12.500. Having come off the apparatus, he is 5th overall. Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan is next to go in the men's pommel horse final. He has narrowly missed out on World Championship medals at the last 2 editions. He's finished 4th in both the last 2 World Championships, but did win pommel horse gold in Doha and Baku after bronze in Cottbus, leading the series. Just needs to watch his legs coming apart. It's an area that he has struggled with at times. There it is. And that has seen him off the apparatus. Usually when it happens, he's so capable of getting it back on track without coming off. He knows this is going to cost him. 25-year-old. but when it's good, it is great. Long and lean, sleek and clean is usually what he produces. Nariman Kurbanov, the top qualifier. Oksana Chusovitina, 12 for her second, 12.1 for her second, so 12 overall for Oksana Chusovitina. She lies 6th. Maria Tronrud of Norway next to go. Maria Tronrud qualified 8th for this women's vault final. The Norwegian, who turned 21 last month, made the beam final in Cottbus. Captain of the Norwegian gymnastics team down the runway for her first vault of 2. Big step back on landing, but nice in the air.
The Norwegian is was one of the 8 athletes to qualify for this quarterfinal. Born in the Norwegian capital in Oslo. She has done 3 world championships so far. Liverpool, Kitakyushu and Stuttgart.
Handspring onto the table. Just that massive adjustment on landing. The score for her first vault should be decent. A 13.066. 8.866 execution. Very good from Tronrud. National champion on uneven bars and balance beam. Competing in the vault final here. Another major adjustment on landing, but again looked very fine in the air.
She salutes the judges after her second vault. And she has a smile on her face. I guess she's happy after
Nariman Kurbanov, 13.566. Was looking so good until he came off. Just lost the legs a little. Ian Skirky of USA next to go. The American Ian Skirky, 6.5 difficulty routine. He, like Kurbanov, landed 14.7 in qualification. The 23-year-old from Illinois in the United States. A pommel horse specialist, ranked number 1 in USA on the apparatus. Lovely height to start on the mount. This is a very difficult routine. The kind of gymnast who provides such wide variety on pommel horse. I'm interested to see his dismount. Oh yes, he's gone old school. Just heaves his body over the horse. Doesn't do the handstand pirouetting dismount that so many do. Ian Skirky. Back to back woo travels down the length of the horse. So Skirky will be looking to go into the medals. Ilya Kovtun, 14.566, is currently 3rd. Lee Chikais leading the way, 15.033. Just lost the legs a little for a moment, but got it back wonderfully. Lovely straight body.
Hope we can get a glimpse of the women's vault ranking after 7 exercises.
Certainly not an easy routine.
There's the score for Maria Tronrud.
score for Maria Tronrud, 12.599. She goes 5th through 7 gymnasts. Jocelyn Robertson from the United States, last to go in the women's vault final, the 17-year-old making her World Cup debut here in Cairo. Big personality, massive dreams, and a very fine gymnast. Little hop to the side, but a rather unique vault to start. A round off onto the board, half twist onto the table, and a front layout with a full twist off.
I think for Jocelyn, it's her first World Cup too. Yes. The quickest confirmation we could get from a reliable source. The coach of Jocelyn.
That's beautifully done. In the air. A little hop forward. From Texas in the United States, known more for its American football and basketball, but my word, has she raised the profile of gymnastics in the state. Waiting for her score.
There it is, 14.033.
It'll be decent. It will be very good, no doubt. 14.033. Execution of 8.833. Jocelyn Robertson of USA with her second vault. Double twisting Yurchenko. And again, a slight adjustment on the landing, but that is very good. And she'll be looking for top spot. From one American to another. Ian Skirky outside the medals, 14.266. Execution 8.166. So well down on his qualification of 14.7. Laurent de Munck of Netherlands will be last to go.
Score 13.993 on vault. Which means that Robertson wins the gold.
Laurent de Munck of Netherlands, the final gymnast to go in the pommel horse. Lovely height on the mount and straight into the handstand. Turns 24 in a few days' time, the man from Haarlem in Netherlands. Finished 4th just outside the medals on the pommel horse at the European Championships this month. Actually missed bronze on a tie-break to Arthur Davtjan. Oh, the agony from his coach just watching it as well. First artistic gymnast representing Netherlands to win a medal on pommel horse at the European Championships when he claimed that silver last year in Munich behind Merdinyan. And at the second attempt, very nicely done. A wry smile from the Dutch athlete. Laurent de Munck, 6.5 difficulty for that routine. Jocelyn Robertson, 13.983. She goes top of the vault. She claims the gold, 14.033 for her first, 13.933 for her second vault. Jocelyn Robertson with the gold in the women's vault.
And this is the end of the women's vault.
Lauren de Monk just trying to keep that perpetual motion. Started very nicely with the strength element. And then when it was looking good, just catches the pommel. And legs apart, off he came. Recovered nicely and produced a 13.633. He finishes 6th overall. Very difficult routine, 6.5. Confirming the title for the women's vault, Jocelyn Robertson of the United States, 13.983, completely dominant performance on vault. Asia D'Amato finishes 2nd, and Hilary Heron of Panama claims a historic bronze medal as well. Irfana Lutfi just misses out on a medal. Oksana Chusovitina, just a little down with her initial landing on her first vault. She finishes 8th overall. That should have the series title wrapped up. The results from the men's pommel horse. It's victory for Lee Chikai with a phenomenal 15.033. Gakik Khachikyan with a lovely routine finishes 2nd. And then we have 2 bronze medalists, Ilya Koftun and Haruchun Merdinyan, with exactly the same difficulty and exactly the same execution, 14.566. They will share the bronze.
Please welcome the medal winners.
Making her way rather gingerly to the podium, Asia D'Amato, the silver medalist from Italy. Jocelyn Robertson of the United States claiming the women's vault gold. And Hilary Heron of Panama winning the bronze splendidly, superbly, scintillatingly. This is the award ceremony for the women's vault final. Hilary Heron, sporting heritage in the family. The grandfather was actually a baseball player and scout from Panama.
الدكتور علاء حامد عضو مجلس إدارة الاتحاد المصري للجمباز.
Third place and bronze medal winner representing Panama, Hilary Heron.
المركز الثاني والميدالية.
The bronze medalist from Panama, Hilary Heron, produced a wonderful 13.766 and 13.433 to claim bronze with 13.599. 1/1000th of a point more. Asia D'Amato, who looked to have injured herself on her second vault. Hope it's not serious, but a 14.1 on her first. She claims silver, 13.6, but 13.983 combined for her 2 vaults. Jocelyn Robertson of the United States claiming gold in her very first final, in her very first World Cup event.
السيدات والسادة، السلام الوطني للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية.
And we all stand up, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of the United States. The medal winners.
The national anthem of the United States of America for Jocelyn Robertson, champion of the women's vault,
Ever World Cup medal
ahead of
for
Asia D'Amato
Jocelyn
and Hilary Heron.
of the United States. Picture with these three amazing athletes. The ladies show their medals to the cameras here. Well deserved. Ladies, congratulations. Thank you so much. Grazie mille. Muchas gracias. And we are ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the men's pommel horse final. Please welcome the medal winners.
Eight made the final, 4 make the podium, not 3 for the men's pommel horse final. Sharing the bronze, Ilya Kovtun of Ukraine, the floor champion, and Harutyun Mardinyan of Armenia. His compatriot, Gaki Khachikyan, claiming the silver medal, but Lee Chik-kai was absolutely superb. A scintillating performance that was a pleasure to commentate, seeing him crowned champion on pommel horse.
المركز الثالث والميدالية البرونزية.
The gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, will be presented by Artur Smiskiewicz, FIG Men's Artistic Gymnastics Technical Committee President. The silver medal by Jeffrey Thompson, FIG Men Artistic Gymnastics Technical Committee Vice President. And the bronze medal by Krasimir Dunev, President of the Gymnastics Federation of Bulgaria.
المركز الثالث والميدالية البرونزية.
Third place and bronze medal winners from Ukraine, Ilya Kovtun, and from Armenia, Harutyun Mardinyan.
Ilya Kovtun, the floor champion, with a 14.566, exactly the same as Harutyun Mardinyan. The 38-year-old and the 19-year-old stand side by side
Silver medal winner for Armenia, Gaki
as
Khachikyan.
they tie for bronze. Gaki Khachikyan, mentored by Mardinyan, finds himself on the second tier of the podium. Only 20 years old, the man from Yerevan in Armenia. A silver medal with a 14.733. But the man who claims gold is Lee Chik-kai of Chinese Taipei. A 6.2 difficulty routine in qualification, upgraded to 6.5 difficulty in the final, execution of 8.533, 15.033. By some margin, he is the champion on pommel horse in Cairo. It has been so surprising that Lee Chik-kai had yet to medal at the World Cups this year. But he hasn't just medaled, he's got the gold medal. Such flair on pommel horse. It's a difficult routine that he did so well, and his flares were utterly outstanding. And now for the national anthem.
السيدات والسادة، السلام الوطني لدولة تايوان.
And we stand up, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of Chinese Taipei.
Massive applause for the champion Li Chikai. What a performance on Pommel horse, 15.033. His first medal of this World Cup series, and it's gold in Cairo. Khachikyan, his first, and it's silver. Ilya Kovtun with his second medal from a second final, and continuing to medal Harutyun Mardinyan of Armenia as they share bronze. The two Armenians posing with their medals as well.